My next guest's list of accomplishments is as long as it is impressive. Former president of the WNBA, senior vice president of the PGA Tour, motivational speaker, and founder of the annual leadership conference Generation W. Donna Orander, welcome to First Coast Connect.
It's so nice to be here this morning. Thank you so
It
much.
is so nice to have you. So I want to start with some of your earliest athletic accomplishments
Wow.
because
Okay.
it was clear pretty early on that you had a gift. So you were a five-sport athlete in high school. You lettered in
Seven. Okay.
seven. You lettered in basketball, field hockey, volleyball, softball, tennis. And then you did pro basketball for a number of years. You played with three different teams, including the Chicago Hustle, which I
I
think
did.
has the greatest name.
Isn't that a great name? I know. We didn't have to dance before warm up, so it's okay.
So how did competitive athletics prepare you for your eventual career?
I think I've spoken about this often, and I think about it in my business life. It prepared me totally. What youth, young boys and young girls, which is why I'm such an advocate for the growing movement behind women's sports, is it teaches us how to be persistent. It teaches us how to have discipline. It teaches us how to manage our time. It teaches us so much about ourselves. It puts us in a position where we really want to make ourselves better, but also be involved in a sphere where we're competing in things that are bigger than ourselves. Right? The values are just so invaluable.
Do you think it also helps with emotional regulation? Is it something that like kids, use that to sort of focus?
Without a doubt. You have to learn how to win, but you also have to learn how to lose gracefully and graciously. And all those things play into the fact that if I want to perform my best, then I definitely have to have a handle on my emotions.
So you, in addition to working at the WNBA and the PGA Tour, you started your own company. You're the CEO of Orander Unlimited, which does consulting work, but you part of your work is this Generation W effort. So people may not all know about it, some will, but explain what Generation W is and does.
No, actually, it's not a job. It's a mission. It's a life work. It's a passion. I think when I left the WNBA, I realized I was on the cutting edge of that wave of commerce and culture, which we're continuing to see evolve. And I wanted to bring something to my hometown. I was digging in here in Jacksonville, although I lived here for a long time, that wanted to contribute. And I really felt that women's voices should be elevated, opportunities should be expanded. I felt it was in the collective best interest of building vital and vibrant communities. And so I said, what the heck? Let's try to build something around thought leadership. And at the time, honestly, this was like almost 15 years ago, Jacksonville and thought leadership was something that probably could have been enhanced.
And so what has happened in the years since?
Well, this is our 13th year for Generation W. We're now nationally recognized. People come from over 30 states to participate in this thought leadership event. I think my favorite moment of every week throughout the year when I run into especially women, but men are invited and they do come, when they tell me that their lives have been positively changed by the experience they have in being part of Generation W.
I'm talking to Donna Orander about her upcoming event, Generation W. It's in April, and she is available to answer your questions or your comments. You can give us a call at 904-549-2937, or you can email us at firstcoastconnect@wjct.org. Has the goal of Generation W changed in the years since it began?
Actually, I don't think it's really changed. It's just deepened and enhanced. This year, we started a program a couple of years ago called Launch Her. So we'll select 4 up-and-coming entrepreneurs and just provide them support. We don't charge them anything. We're there to give them publicity, social media support. We'll introduce them on the stage. We'll let them feature their products and sell them. We're really all about supporting women and girls, but honestly, the spirit of it, when you elevate a woman and girl, you elevate us all. So really about elevating communities, making our workplaces better, right? More integrated in terms of how we see each other and how we're able to work. So this has been a true asset to all the companies that send people. It's about retention. It's about recruitment. It's about personal growth. It's about professional growth. It's about the power of connection and inspiration. And I think what I see on an ongoing basis, because in addition to Generation W, we have a program called Refresh, which is on every 2 weeks, although we're on a little bit of a hiatus right now. We do a thing called No Friends. We have our Gen Wow program. People want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be meaningfully connected.
And since a big part of what you do is trying to help people, work in and improve themselves and do so in a professional space. How do like political events or movements like Me Too impact the work that you do, the message that you send to women, or does it?
Well, we're a 501c3, and we really are embrace ideas and resonant topics that are happening. We're not a political organization in any way, but we're a trusted organization that can host, right, and have really great curated conversations about important topics. This year, our theme is Believe, and everybody's been rallying about that. And I wonder why. Every time I sit down, our theme is Believe. They go, great. Why? Why is it great? Because I think we're all really struggling with what do we believe in a society that has truth that questioned everywhere we look? How do we believe about what do we believe about ourselves, and how important is that belief? What do we believe about other stories, and what is the importance of us sharing them? And the speakers that we attract who come are so extraordinary to share their stories in a way that people can hear and listen and feel comfortable. It's a beautiful thing.
Has the question have the comments, have the inquiries changed though in like the last 10 years in terms of people bringing their workplace experiences or wanting advice about how to conduct themselves in those spaces?
What a great question. I am surprisingly, and I actually talked about this at a group. I went up to New York for a mentor retreat. And the issues really are consistent. They may vary in how many there were, are there more, are there less? But I do think there are life cycle struggles that we all face as we grow up and move forward, right? Women, there are issues about, we talk about it. What's balance? How do we take care of our kids? How do our workplaces recognize that? And yet there's been a lot of progress, but there are those issues that we all have in terms of our existence every day.
How about your own experience as you've grown older? Has your view changed? Has your perspective changed about what's important or the messages that you want to share with younger women?
I feel stronger about the messages. I don't know that they've substantially changed. I've always believed in the value of every single person. I believe we need to see and listen and reach out to each other. I know the power of connection, which is what started all of this, is more important than ever. I believe that hard work is good and builds character. And I just spoke at the University of Central Florida, and all their graduate students like, tell us what you see. And I said, what I see is if you have a great attitude and you want to work, then people will see and you'll be able to advance. I don't know. There's no substitute for doing the work.
So this upcoming event here in Jacksonville, tell us a little bit about what the format is and what people who come should expect.
First of all, I'll start with the second question. People who come, some of them have never seen it before, and so they are kind of blown away. There's no way of expressing the spirit, the energy, the inspiration that is collected in this space. It begins sharp at 8 o'clock in their seats. The energy is palpable. We have a surprise opening this year. We have, the incredible conductor of the Jacksonville Symphony is going to come speak.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, excellent. We have the former chairman and CEO of United Airlines, Oscar Munoz, will be there. We have Dr. Vicky Medvec, who is a foremost recognized expert in negotiation out of the Northwestern Graduate School. She'll be there to talk about that. We have incredible workshops on leadership. The Mayo Clinic's going to do Answers for Cancer at a time, I think, when every person is touched by cancer in their life in some way. Where is the safe place we can ask questions from experts? This incredible woman, 30 years of research, who's an expert on instinct and persuasion. Think about that in the context of believing, right? What is our instincts? How do we believe? How are our minds changed? 30 years of experience. She's going to do a workshop on that. I think it will be phenomenal. Dr. Mayim from UNF. We've had so many talks, and one day he looked at me and I said, would you like to speak? He's an incredible thinker, communicator, and I'm really excited that he'll be joining us this year. I really do love when all of these people come from across the country, especially a lot of friends from New York, and they'll go, where did you find that person? Where did you find that person? And I love what I can say.
Here.
They're from Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And so do you give them kind of, is believe their talking point sort of, is that the thing that they're centering their discussion on? Or do you just sort of let them wing it and do what they want?
We don't wing. We don't wing. We really think about the topics from a multitude of disciplines and areas. And actually, seeing that I'm on an NPR station, one of my favorite, most exciting panels is a thing called This I Believe.
Oh yeah.
The concept was started in 1950s by Edward R. Murrow, and it's been taken to all different lengths. Right? Einstein did one, and the hairdresser does one. And we have a panel consisting of our very own Pat Garrity from Florida Blue. Lori Lee's one of the senior most executives from AT&T is flying in. We have Patty McElroy from the president of Five Star Foundation, as well as a woman who's coming in from New York and very accomplished woman in finance at Goldman Sachs. They will be moderated by Dr. Olenda Johnson, who teaches leadership at the United States Naval War College. That conversation, I think, will be wonderful in so many ways because it not only opens up and shares stories, but it gets us to think about our story. I think it will be early in the day, and I think that thematic will run all the way through.
And I would guess that your guests are, I mean, it's an opportunity for them as well to think deeply and kind of reflect on where they are in their career and messages that they care to share.
I think what this day gives everybody is a chance to say, hit the pause button and say, wait a second, I just need this time for me. And if I take this time for me and then I see that this time is for we, it makes all of us better.
So who should attend this event? I mean, I always think of Gen W as kind of, skewed young, but who do you think gains most?
Actually, it's funny. I get this a lot, especially talking to the companies that I do, like who should we send? I truly believe in the intergenerational mix of people getting together. I love the fact that we have 100 students invited as our guests to attend from local universities and colleges. And I love the fact that we have senior women executives. We have up and coming rising stars. We have accomplished mid-tier executives. And we have women 60, 70, 80, and 90. I love when we had Helen Lane many, many years ago on the stage. And she got up and wanted to learn how to twerk. But there's something so engaging and connecting about that. You know what I mean? And so I guess the unifying spirit that we all have about wanting to be our best selves, we want to learn what we can in an environment we feel safe, is universal. And therefore, having this incredible mix of community is really strengthening.
Are there any experiences, people who've come to the conference and left you with, a story about how it's impacted them or in some way changed their approach to things?
So many. And it's not like they write me right away. And I'll give you one. JSK, there's a woman named Jen Kelman. I love her. I was speaking at a panel. She goes, Donna, you don't know this. I'm like, yes. Well, I came to your event and I realized I needed to start my own company. I was working here, and I started my own company. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, I do marketing. I said, well, if you're doing marketing, we need help. Can we hire you? And she now works for us.
No kidding.
Another great story is Ida. Ida came. She sat there. She said, oh, my God, Donna, I was listening, and I knew I had to do something for the community. She sat there, called up her husband, said, meet me. We're writing a business plan. And she now started one, but has expanded to 4 mental health, community-centered focused locations here in Jacksonville.
And so if people are interested in expanding kind of their business and professional aspirations, obviously some opportunities there, but what about people who are just maybe interested in, talking, meeting, connecting, and networking with other women?
The energy is palpable. What people say is a lot of conferences you go to, people will look over your shoulder, see who's down there. People come with open hearts and open minds, and they feel it. I have a girlfriend who comes from New York. She goes, I can go to any conference in the country, and I do, but I will never miss this one. Why not? She goes, because the spirit here is so exceptionally different and special, and I want to be a part of that.
A lot of attention happening right now with women's basketball.
Yes!
I'm just interested in how you've seen that sport evolve. If you're just surprised to see the attention that it's getting, just think that it's finally kind of getting its due.
First of all, let me just say how incredibly grateful I am. I mean, I feel like I've lived through every stage of this, playing since I've been very young, playing in the first women's professional league ever, playing in, college, to see what is happening now. Knowing that I have been in so many companies' boardrooms and sales, conference rooms, and hearing the receptivity, the positivity, seeing the results in terms of ratings and interest, knowing that all of these men want to know what Caitlin Clark is doing before any other team. I take a pause sometimes, like why not before? Because there's so many gifted athletes that are still playing the WNBA, clearly in college. And then I just say, it's happening. Let's go with it and build. And I think it's extraordinary.
Have you picked your bracket?
I have to because Tuesday, like I think the play-in games are right now for the men. I will pick my bracket. I think it's a tough one. I think it's a tough one. I think like everyone in America, I'll be rooting for, Dawn Staley. I was with her. She was with me. I guess we were both in the WNBA. I'm a huge fan of hers. But this Caitlin Clark phenomenon is just phenomenal. And that, honestly, two-step from the logo three-pointer, I think she's got the lock on that.
For people who want to attend the event, it's in April. Tell us the details and how they can get a ticket.
Yeah, no, really simple. GenW, GenW is you just go to our website, you go to, and then it takes you into our Eventbrite site. You get breakfast, you get lunch, you get a post wine celebration, and you get to have your spirit, your heart, your mind opened and lifted. I think it's an incredible value. It's a really special day, and I will also say that I think it's a great thing for the city of Jacksonville. It puts us on the map with women leaders and companies across the country. And I'm really proud of the work that we continue to do and all who share in that work.
Well, Donna Orander, it's so nice to have you today, and thanks for being here. Good luck with the event.
Yeah, and I'm expecting you there. Just want to let you know.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it.